Hello everyone! We have our special guest here with us today. Yuna, you say hi? She looks very comfortable. That Sailor Moon pillow is just her favorite. So today I'm doing what I did recently again because I had a lot of fun doing it and I like doing it anyways just on my own time. And you guys seem to really enjoy it too. I am going to be recreating a floor plan, a real life floor plan. So if you don't know, one of my favorite things to do in The Sims 4 is look up a real floor plan in the real world and try to replicate it in the game. It's equally challenging as it is relieving. Is that the word I want? Because I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I'm just replicating this. I don't have to come up with my own floor plan. But at the same time, sometimes trying to recreate a floor plan in The Sims 4, a little difficult. But the floor plan I will be replicating today is this one. I love it. I think it looks so cool. I love the two different contrasting shades. It's very neat. I like it a lot. But anyways, without further ado, I will let you enjoy the speed build of me trying to replicate this house. Enjoy. All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty proud of how close I actually was able to get with this. I did have to change a few things around a few times, as far as sizing, because that's the hardest part is just trying to make sure that everything fits the way it's supposed to. But I think I got it in the end. I was a little shook. I removed things like a pantry or random coat closets because honestly there's not enough room, first of all, in The Sims, and second of all, they're completely useless. I did put in one closet upstairs in the master, but other than that I was like, forget it. I really don't even have the room. The only reason I put the closet in the master is because in the floor plan the closet is so big that I was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I can put that in The Sims, right? But anyways, what I ended up doing that I think changed the game this time was I stopped worrying about it looking good in The Sims and just made it look how it looks in real life, which was the goal, right? But it's weird because, okay, I don't know if you ever noticed this, but in real life, houses don't look good from all angles, if that makes sense. So if you've ever looked at the front of the house always looks really nice. The windows look like they're in the right spot. Everything's great, right? It all looks very nice because it's curb appeal. That's the point. But if you go to the back of the house or the side of the house, the windows are in random places. They're random sizes. The roof isn't all that great. It's just it doesn't matter as much from the back or the sides. It's just the front. That's how people build houses in real life, right? Take a second to go look at them and you'll realize, my own house, if you're looking at it from the backyard, the windows look so stupid. They're in the weirdest places. Some of them are tiny. It looks really weird. But from the inside, it looks great because they're in the right spots, which is the point, because from the front you have curb appeal, but from the back and the sides it doesn't matter. All that matters is that it looks good from the inside, because I mean that's where you're spending most of your time. So you'll notice that I put the windows in the spots where the windows are in the real house, and it looks super weird, and they're all different windows, and it's very funky looking in The Sims. But I noticed that when I looked at this house from the neighborhood view, when I went out and put someone in the house, I could see it, from the neighborhood view, and it looked I kind of caught myself by surprise a little bit, because it straight up looks like a real house, because you can only see the back of it, but it looks real. I don't know how to explain it other than just, you'd have to see it, but it looks real. And I was like, oh dang, I think I nailed this one. And I didn't even bother doing anything to the garage. I probably could have put a car in there. I don't know why I don't do that. I always forget that we could size up cars. I don't know. It'd be nice if we could just have cars. I keep saying it, but nobody's listening. Anyways, I think this was a really good house to try to replicate because the floor plan it's very realistic because it is real. And this one, I just felt like it's better than the last one. Because I think on the last one, I was just trying to make it look good in The Sims. And this time I was like, no, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to do it like they have it in real life. Minus maybe a couple coat closets and a pantry. Because there's just no room for that. But I made it work. And I was so shook. Because when I was done, I was like, wait, you know what? I kind of really like this. I like it in The Sims as well. There are a few things, like those little double windows in the front there. Those little tiny ones. I probably would not have done that personally if it were my choice. But is that how the house looked in real life? Yeah. And I did the landscaping the same as well. I was like, dude, I actually, because it wasn't that complicated. I actually did a good job because it wasn't that hard. But that's kind of why I chose this one, because I was like, you know what? It looks kind of simple. And honestly, I definitely didn't struggle as much with this one because I just kind of gave into the idea of just doing it like it's supposed to be done. And also I use doors as the garage because they look exactly like the garage door with the windows. Judge me all you want, but I thought it was a good idea. I was so shook by that when I put it down. I was like, oh my God, it looks just like the garage in the picture. I nailed it. Again, the backyard just had this little deck, so that's what I did. There wasn't really room for a backyard anyways, because I was like, you know what? The front of the house, or the actual house itself, way more important. But the windows in the back get me every time. I'm like, they're so bad. But I don't know. Honestly, I wonder... I don't know, it's hard to think about it now, but when I play The Sims, I wonder if I ever actually pay attention to the back of the house or the side of the house. I don't think I do. You know, but when you're building it, you're like, it has to be perfect, it has to look nice from all angles. But does it? Do you actually pay attention to that? Like, think about it. I don't know if I do. But when I'm building, I obviously do, because I'm the one building it. When I'm playing in it, I don't know if I notice it that much. I would say the inside is 1,000 times more important than the outside. So I kind of think I might start doing this where I pay much less attention to the sides and the back of the house and just pay attention to the front and the inside, because that's all that really matters in the end. If you're going to download this and play with it, that's all that matters. If you're going for aesthetic only, sure, you know, make sure the sides and the back are, you know, perfection. But otherwise, I mean, it doesn't really matter. This house kind of made me realize that. Also, I use those little seasonal things. They are for the holiday season, but I use them anyways. No one is surprised though, so it's fine. This was supposed to be a dining room, but there were only like 2 pictures of the interior of this house. So I was able to see the kitchen and that little dining room section and then the living room. So that kind of gave me a better understanding of like the layout or what the layout was supposed to be. I did switch out like the type of furniture in the kitchen and stuff because it had a white kitchen, but I was like, no, I'm going to do something different. I'm going for a dark kitchen. And I changed it up a little bit because I usually go for a white kitchen. So I said, no, I'm going to switch it up. I went for something different, which is also something I've been trying to do lately because I have a hard time going out of my comfort zone. And I like what I like and I always put it in my builds, but I think, you know, other people like different things. I should switch it up and maybe I'll end up liking it too, which has been the case every freaking time. Every time I switch it up, I'm like, you know what? I do like that. Look, I'm using all these items from Jungle Adventure that I never would have used otherwise, but I did because I did that one house where every room is a different pack. And I ended up using Jungle Adventure for the kitchen and it was phenomenal. Like the stuff in there was so good and I was honestly shook. I was also trying to use like dividers right here, but I ended up just putting the candles on the wall because it kind of looked like shelves with candles. And I really dig it. Then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put it against the wall. Not how it was meant to be, but that's how I'm doing it. Overall, I was very, very surprised. I ended up liking this house a lot. I thought the living room was a little bit weird. There's no TV. There wasn't in the pictures either. I imagine because it was obviously staged, right? Like they just put in furniture so you could imagine it better. That's something people do when they sell houses or they list houses. They will put in furniture just to kind of give you an idea of a layout because it's hard to look at an empty house and imagine it with furniture. It's hard. And it doesn't sound that hard, but it is a little tricky. I think there's an art to it. But I thought this was nice. I added in like a coffee table. I don't think there was one in the picture, not that I can remember. But I was like, you know what? It needs something there. It all looked really, really nice. And I'm still shook about the window thing. I can't get over it because I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to let them look ugly from the side and the back. And then it was so much easier to decorate on the inside because of that. Because usually I do the windows first and then I'm working on the inside around the windows and it's kind of hard. But the fact that I did the windows, you know, after I did the inside pretty much. I mean, I was following a floor plan, but technically if I would have been doing this on my own, that's what I would have done. But it just made it so much easier. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this forever now. Like, forget the sides and the back. I don't even care anymore. As long as it works from the inside, that is all that matters. So I made like an upstairs game room. I thought this was so cool. This is what a lot of houses have, at least the ones I've looked at. I put like a dartboard, the little foosball table thing, an aquarium, which I've been putting in like every house I've been building lately. I put the sad clown poster. I thought that was a little jazzy for a game room. I don't know. There was an upstairs laundry room, so I just went ham on the laundry day stuff in here because I love it. It's so pretty. Oh God. People thought it was gonna be bad, but then it was fantastic. One of the best we ever had. It's so good, the items in this pack. A work of freaking art. I think another really difficult thing about recreating floor plans is it's sometimes really hard to get the sizing right. And you don't want to make rooms that are too big because that becomes very overwhelming in The Sims and it's hard to like fill in the space. It's almost better to just leave it emptier, to be honest. Like this room is pretty big, but I just did the essentials. I just put in like a bed, a dresser. I think I put in an ottoman, a mirror, and I think that was it. Now I could have put in a desk. I realize that now, and I probably should have done that because that's something else I noticed in other people's builds is that they always put in desks with computers, and I'm like, oh, duh. That is something that people have. I'm literally doing that right now. I'm sitting at a computer in a room. Like, that's something people have. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I probably should have done that. In hindsight, I need to remember to do that because I'm like, oh, that's obviously something most people have, especially nowadays. Everybody has a computer. So where I put that couch, I probably could have put a desk and a computer, but the couch looks nice too. I don't know, if you're not a computer in your bedroom kind of person, you have an office or something, that is, you know, that's probably what I would do is I'd put a couch in my bedroom. Also, I put the bathtub in the middle of this room because I was feeling fancy. I'm like, you know what? All my like dream houses that I look at online always have bathtubs in the middle of the room. And so that's what I'm going to do, honey. I'm going to put a bathtub there. I have no regrets. I think it looks awesome. I put this cool light fixture in there. I was like, dude, I think this looks sick. I'd love to have this bathroom. Would love. And then on the other side, I did do the closet, and it looks like a closet. It's completely useless, but I did put an ottoman in there because that's something else I would love to have in a dream closet is an ottoman. You always see it. And then I'm always like, oh, one day that'll be me. I'll have an ottoman in my closet. There are a few things I want in my dream home, and that's a bathtub in the middle of my bathroom and an ottoman in my closet. And I've made it. Oh, and then maybe a fountain. Because, I mean, as we all know, if you have a fountain in your front yard, you've made it. That's all I'm gonna say. Thanks for listening. Anyways, I kept it pretty simple with the rest of the bedrooms. I was like, they're not that big. And I mean, honestly, that's probably more realistic anyways. But I did put in like a hamster cage. I was like, okay, let's go, Sasha. Let's think outside the box here. Which I was like, I have all these objects in my game. I never use half of them. I always just use the same ones. So this room was a really kind of a weird shape, but I was like, I gotta make it work. I don't even remember what I ended up doing. I think it was a kid's room, so I ended up putting like some toys. I think maybe like the big plushy kitty. I think I remember doing that. Yep, there it is. I wanted a kid's room because I feel like the last two rooms I did were not kids' rooms, and people always want a kid's room, at least one, if not maybe a couple. So I put in some things for kids to do, and yeah, I think it came out kind of cute. Whenever I build nowadays, I always like to think of activities because I realize that sometimes I build, I'll build houses that I think are really cute, but then there's nothing for your Sims to actually do inside of the houses unless you buy it yourself. So I've made sure to try to incorporate some activities to do, whether that's painting or gardening, something for your kids, I don't know. But here is the finished product. I actually think it came out really freaking similar to the picture that I found online. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm really proud of this one, to be honest. I like this one way more than the last one. I'm not gonna lie. But please enjoy the screenshots of the house. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you are new. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye!